Good morning, everybody. Shefa bracha v'atzlacha, gmar chatima tova to all. We are a day after Yom Kippur. We're standing in front of Sukot. And first of all, we have to explain the procedure. It's very interesting. You know, we come to the time in the year of Chodesh Elul, says Chodesh Elul, Slicha v'rachamim. Then tell us Rosh Hashanah, Yom Adin, the Judgment Day, and then Rosh Hashanah is finished. That's, the Asara Yemei Tshuva finished, Yom Kippur, and said, okay, after Yom Kippur we fast, we were like angels. That's it. No. Now Sukot. We have to understand we are in the middle of procedure. It's like I always tell, it's like somebody who's got a serious illness and he has to have an operation. So the first thing before he's having the operation is to prepare himself for a checkup of the doctors to see if he can go through the procedure of the operation, because sometimes, you know, the situation is so bad that no operation is going to help. And then Baruch Hashem, he goes to this procedure, and he's got a committee of doctors, and they check him and says, okay, you are suitable to do the operation. And then, but now in 10 days you have to be very careful what you eat, what you do, and you have to eat certain things and not allowed to eat these things, and be careful what you do. And then you will be prepared, you will be ready for the operation. Comes the day of the operation. Of course, you're not allowed to eat at the day of the operation, no drinking, no nothing. And Baruch Hashem, the operation is successful. Now I want to ask you, what is the purpose of this whole procedure? Is it the operation or what's happening after the operation? Because of course the operation is to fix you. But now you have to go on with your life, and everybody can see that the operation was successful. That's the idea. And this is the same procedure we're going through. The first thing, we sinned. So the Kodesh Baruch Hu says, you know what? I'll have a special committee for you, and we'll see if there is something to do. But you have to do, first of all, make slicha, ask for forgiveness, say slichot. And then you'll come to Yom Adin, to the Judgment Day, and the committee, with the head of the Kodesh Baruch Hu, the King of all kings, the Almighty, is going to check if you can go through the operation to save your life, to clean you from the sins. And if he sees you did well and you are prepared for the operation, so he writes that you are now ready to go through the next procedure, which is going to lead you to the operation itself. And those are the 10 days. That we say special slichot, we're being very careful about what we eat and what we don't eat, more careful than the normal year. Everything has to be more kosher and so on. Everybody with his own agenda, with his own things that he's doing, let's say at that time, especially because it's known that on Yom Kippur is going to be signed. Yom Kippur is the operation. Yom Kippur, the operation is, and now we are signed, and the operation was successful. And we're here. Now, what do we do with this? Now, we have to show God that we are really in a good position. The operation was very successful. And now we are ready to do all the mitzvahs, whatever we can. And this is Sukot. If you look through the laws of Sukot and the laws of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Aseret Yemei Tshuva, you will find something unbelievable. All the things like this, but when you look at the halachot of Sukot, something like this. Why? Because God gives us this beautiful mitzvah of Sukot. It is involved with so many mitzvahs, beautiful mitzvahs, mitzvahs that connect us to the nature, mitzvahs that are, like as a kid, I always remember Sukot. This was like we were sitting together and the whole family and preparing a decoration for the sukkah and building the sukkah, helping to build the sukkah, and all the family sitting in the sukkah and eating. This was an unbelievable chag. We all remember it. This is what is doing is God is telling us, okay, I'm going to give you beautiful mitzvahs, that it's very easy and very joyful to do those mitzvahs. And this is exactly the point. Yes, we are still in the middle of a procedure. Now we have to show God what we're doing, how we're doing it. And one of the main things is, and it hurts me to hear what happened in Yom Kippur in Tel Aviv, and I heard in other places, that people, Jews, are disturbing, praying, in town because of a mechitza or whatever it is. And by the way, this is only hateful to our religion. From Jews, it's unbelievable. You know, the Muslims, they had they also had a prayer on, I think, in Tel Aviv somewhere, and the Iriyah gave them the mechitza. Unbelievable. And here you're not allowed to. And even if they did the combination, still people came and it got to a fight. I'm telling you, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. To what level can we get? This hatred to the tradition. People coming to daven, they're not religious. You know, I davened yesterday, I did Shachris, and I gave explanation on Musaf in the Skrovsky in Ra'anana. Also Armenian for all Israel, everybody. People come, that is the only time in the year that they come to shul, to daven. And it was, the atmosphere is so unbelievable. Like you see Am Israel, Yom Kippur is talking to them, even though that the whole year around they don't do anything else. But the together, let's say how do you say that, the way they react, the way they behave, the way they appreciate the tradition, it's something, really, it was unbelievable. And from the other side, Motzei Yom Kippur came and I saw this, I couldn't believe it. What is our problem? How can this be? But we must not give up. We have to understand, God sometimes puts difficulties in front of us, but those difficulties are challenges to go through. And one of the basic things of Sukkot that we should do, invite our friends, the not religious one, invite them to the Sukkah to see the beauty of it. Most of them, of course, are going to come and enjoy it. Most of the people in Israel, most of the Jews are with us. Don't be frightened. This is a minority of a minority, crazy people that had this hatred to the religion. But most of Am Israel, you ask in the street, they are for tradition. They, let's say, how they appreciate tradition. So let us try. Let's see. I want to show Yom Kippur. How do we start? We start Yom Kippur. Reshut titpalel b'avayanim. We are asking for permission to pray with the sinners, with Avarianim. Of course, the sinner is also us, inside us, but also on the surface with the sinners, because on Yom Kippur people come that who knows what they did through the year. So we are asking permission to do the prayer with them. Now you have to understand something very important. The Ktoret, which had a beautiful smell, unbelievable smell, there was one ingredient there, the levona, that it stings. By itself it stings, but without this there was no Ktoret, and without this wasn't this beautiful smell. Also, when there is a ta'anit, or a fast day, says the Gemara, Kol ta'anit she'en ba miposhei Yisrael ena ta'anit. Every ta'anit, every fast day that there are no sinners in that, there's not a ta'anit. It's very hard to understand what we're talking about. But let's look at Sukkot. At Sukkot we have the 4 spices. We have the lulav, we have the etrog, we have the adas, and the arava. Now, the etrog, it's got smell and taste. That's the tzaddik. It's got Torah and good deeds. The lulav's got only taste, but no smell. So this is somebody who's got Torah, but no good deeds. And then we have the adas, that has a smell, but no taste. This is somebody who has got good deeds, but no Torah. And then we have the arava, no taste, no smell. No Torah, no good deeds. So, you would think, if I'm missing the etrog, wow, I cannot do the mitzvah. But if I'm missing the arava, which is the symbol of the Rasha, the symbol of the one who does nothing, no Torah, no good deeds, who needs it? The Torah says, aguda achat. We have to hold them all together. And if there is no arava, there is no mitzvah. So what is the Kodesh Baruch Hu trying to tell us? Kodesh Baruch Hu trying to tell us that we have to understand, we have to embrace also those who don't go in our way, also those that are sinners. They are part of us. They are part of Am Israel. And this is our obligation, this is our duty to help them to come closer. Nevertheless, if we don't take them with us, there is no Am Yisrael, there is no Arba Minim, there is no Ktoret, there is no Ta'anit, there is no Yom Kippur. Think about it. God knows exactly what's going on. So, what we should do now, when we take the Arbat Aminim, when we go and sit in the Sukkah, try and get involved with the others who don't know what it's all about. Try and invite neighbors who don't know what it's all about to be visitors in your Sukkah. To understand and realize, what is this all about? What is this Sukkah all about? The Sukkah is also another thing, is to understand, because our main problem is we are proud. And the pride is a problem, big problem. We have to be humble. And if we be humble, it says those who are proud have the pride, they're proud, they think they are above us. And this is one of the big problems. You know, just now I read this from Metem Chelkeinu. There were two good days to Am Yisrael, Yom Kippur and the 15th of Av. In those 2 days, Yom Kippur was yesterday, we got the second Luchot, and on the Tu B'Av, there were those who were killed in Beitar by the Romans. The Romans allowed the Am Yisrael to bury them, and so on. There were a lot of things. But in those 2 days, the girls from Am Yisrael used to go out with white dresses, but not their own dresses. They borrowed dresses from each other. And think about it. What's the idea behind it? Now, a dress for women, it's very important. For everybody, but especially for women. Now, to give your dress to somebody else, and nevertheless, there were poor girls and rich girls. Now, the poor girls gave the rich girls the dresses, and the rich girl gave the dresses to the poor girls. So you have to understand this, like, this is really something to show that we are all equal. We are all the same. Not exactly, because, you know, the poor girls are going to stay poor after this whole ceremony. And the rich girls are going to stay rich. But the understanding that the poor girls are not humiliated, that the rich girl makes sure that they will have the same dresses as them, they are changing the dresses, each one is giving to the other the dress. This shows us about being together and not looking above you, but being in the same level. Though you are rich or you are poor, doesn't matter. No, this feeling brings love. But when a certain, let's say, part of the community think that they are above us, they are above the others, that's when the problem starts. And you look around and you see, this is all about this. If you know and understand that all of us were created by God, each one of us got his own share, but at the end of the day, we are all the same. Because whatever we've got is from God. And by the way, God can take it any minute. Now, if you live with this idea, you will not be arrogant. You will not look down at others. And the minute we do this, and we don't humiliate the others, and we don't think that they are better from others, that's when love starts. That's when we are united. That's when we have the power. One of the prayers in Yom Kippur also, Agudato al Eretz Yisada, that the whole idea is to be together. When we are together, nobody can do anything to Am Yisrael. And I think that this is the idea that we have to take with us now after Yom Kippur. Though it doesn't look so good, though we see in the street what happened on Yom Kippur, and it hurts, but we have to understand and realize it's a minority. It's a minority, it's not all of the people. Most of the people are with us. Most of the people are traditional. And to help us understand that we get everything from God and everything is just temporary, that is also one of the reasons we go out of our home and go to sit in the sukkah. The sukkah is something that doesn't stand forever. It's only something for a certain period of time. It's temporary. And the same way we have to understand is our house, our home. It's also temporary. So in order to get this feeling, God tells us, now after Yom Kippur, you go out of your house and you will sit in the sukkah and you will feel and understand that this whole world is temporary, and you connect yourself also with the nature. So maybe this is going to help us to understand when we all, Am Yisrael, sit in the sukkah, understanding that we are all the same and we are living in a temporary world, and each one of us got a job to do, and one of the main jobs is to love each other and not to humiliate each other and not to fight with each other. We are brothers. So let us show the love. Now, after Sukkot, embrace the 4 spices, the Arbat Aminim. Think about the Ktoret that's involved, the Levona, which stinks, but together it's a beautiful smell. Remember that the Ta'anit, even when there are problems with Am Yisrael, if we haven't got all Am Yisrael there, also those who don't do the mitzvahs, that's not a Ta'anit. And if we remember all of this, sitting in the sukkah with Arbat Aminim, with the 4 spices, thinking about how can we get closer to each other. Invite your neighbors, invite your friends, those who don't exactly know what it's all about, to show them the beauty of sitting together in a sukkah. Chag Sameach to everybody.